Hello guys, thank you for joining me for a Yin sequence at the beach. I've created this Yin sequence for the full moon in Scorpio, which is happening tomorrow. Scorpio is a very intense archetype. It's opposing Taurus. They're very interconnected, because the sun is in Taurus at the moment. And Taurus is all about beautifying life, being in your physical body, being surrounded by beautiful physical things. And it's very feelings based, and so is Scorpio. Scorpio is ruled by feeling, by their deep emotions, and they're always seeking for the truth. They don't want any superficial they don't like any superficiality. They want to know your authentic truth. They want to get down to know you deeply, and this is what this full moon is inviting you to do. To do your shadow work, to sit with yourself, with your internal monologue, and whatever wasn't present before will arise with this full moon. It will bring up what needs to be stirred up, what you need to work on. And Scorpio is really good as an image to see yourself shedding your skin. What do you need to leave behind? What routine do you need to leave behind you? What do you need to change to move on? To become a better version of yourself. And it's just very normal that we shed our skin. Lots of animals do, and we should as well. So inviting you to do this Yin, very receptive, introverted practice. It is focused on the root chakra, because the root chakra is linked to Scorpio. It's a very primal, rooted chakra connected to your sexuality, to your instinct, your raw primal instincts, but also to intuition. And we will do lots of hip openers. So whatever emotions come up during this flow, this is normal. So hopefully letting go of any stored emotion around these areas. And I would say let's get started in a butterfly pose today. For that, bring the soles of the feet together, the knees wing out to the side, and then you come to lay down on your back, the arms alongside the body, palms are facing up. You could also bring one hand onto the belly, one onto the heart if you like. And then you firstly start to notice the connection to the ground. Close your eyes and start to get rooted here. Let your body become heavy on the earth and feeling the connection very deeply, where your feet meeting the earth, where your legs, your hips touching the ground, where is your upper back, middle back, and lower back meeting the ground. Where are your shoulders laying, touching the ground, your arms, elbows, maybe hands, letting them get really heavy here on the ground. Where is your neck, your head? Hold beneath the earth. And then starting to deepen the breath as well. Inhaling deeply, feeling how your belly expands, the ribs, the chest expands, and with the exhale, everything deflates. Again, inhaling And exhaling. Really focusing on the exhale of the letting go, what needs to go, letting go of negative emotions, letting go of negative energies. And again, inhaling deeply through your nostrils, feeling everything expand. Oh, and on the exhale, deflating again. Letting go, sinking a bit deeper into the ground, feeling held, supported from the earth underneath you. You can lay all your emotions, your worries, your fears onto the earth. And knowing that whatever comes up during this practice is fine. There might be anger, sadness, worries. Everything is welcome. Our job is here to invite compassion, kindness to these emotions that we often push to the side, we don't like to feel. We are trying to meet them in a different way, yeah? More like an observer, an external, becoming aware of the patterns and not judging ourselves. Staying with the breath here for 2 more in and exhalations. And then slowly, when you are ready, you plant your feet back onto the ground. Slowly come up and stretch out your left leg. Right leg is bent and the feet meets the inner side of the thigh. We inhale, reach the arms high. Maybe you look up. And then on the exhale, we fold over the left leg. And maybe there's a bend in the left leg here, so your knee isn't locked. And then you let the head hang heavy. Your head rests on the leg. Maybe you have a bolster or cushion at home and you could support yourself. Yeah. And then, finding the point where you can stay. Yeah, we don't want too much sensation in the leg. Kind of 2 to 5 out of 10. Yeah. We don't want any pain. There can be a bit of discomfort, but really taking it slow. We can always intensify after a few minutes. Grounding into the pose here. Feeling how your hamstrings slowly start to open. Trying to stay soft in the jaw. And then if you like, maybe with your exhale, you come a bit lower. Maybe you can straighten your leg just a bit more. Or maybe you decide you come a bit out of the pose again because it gets too intense. You always have the choice to come a bit out of the asana or to get a bit deeper.
And then we try to stay here for just a bit longer. Okay, so when you're ready on your next exhale, you slowly curl yourself up again. Plant the left foot onto the ground. Maybe a bit of windshield wipering in between before we do the other side. So stretching out the right leg, left leg is bent, finding length here in the spine first, reaching the arms up, inhaling, and on your exhale, folding over the right leg here. Your toes are flexed, means they're pointing towards the knee. And then you let your head relax, get heavy, folding over the right leg. Breathing deep here. And again, take it slow at the beginning. You can always deepen the pose after a minute or two. Keeping the jaw loose. Yeah, we don't want to hold any tension here. The hips are often connected to the jaw. Come a bit lower. We're getting a bit out of the pose. Lovely. And maybe you can also sense it different to the other side that we did before. How does this leg feel? Can you sense any difference or is it the same? And slowly curling yourself up again. Planting both feet onto the ground. Again, windshield wipering in between. And then stretching out both legs here. Long spine here at the beginning. Reaching the arms high again. Breathing in. And then exhale, you fold over the legs. Maybe you like to hug the arms under the knees here. Maybe you support yourself with a cushion here again. Or maybe you rest your head on the legs if you are flexible. So wherever is fine. Feet are flexed, pointing to the knees. And again, take it easy at the beginning. You always can straighten the legs more after a bit of time. Straightening the legs a bit more. You just have to come out a bit. And then when you had enough, curl yourself up again. Lovely. And we want to cross the right leg over the left here, yeah? So you choose. Maybe you stay here and fold over the leg. Maybe you also want to bring in the left leg closer here for your Gomukhasana and then fold over. I'm just gonna show you from this side. So maybe your knees are stuck right on top of each other. Sometimes this is hard and you need to support yourself with something under one sit bone. So you could try if you have something at home. And then fold over. And then maybe you use a block here or a cushion. Maybe you just let the head hang And if both legs are too much, you let the lower leg extend. And then this often feels very uncomfortable at the beginning, and your hips need a bit of time to soften into the pose. And we will give them the time to get relaxed. Maybe you come a bit lower, maybe you come a bit out. You choose, and we'll stay here just a bit longer. And then to release, slowly curl yourself up again. We extend both legs. Ooh. And then we cross the left leg over the right. Maybe you stay here again, or maybe you also cross the right leg underneath. Finding length here first, equaling out left and right sit bone. Maybe you use a block under one or a cushion. And then we fold forward. Guiding your breath into the hips here. Send the breath down to soften. And it's normal if you get really unsettled, maybe a bit angry in these hip openers. That's good, yeah. Stored emotions. We want to release. Mm. Again, your chance to deepen the posture or to get a bit out. When you're ready, you curl yourself up again. Stretch out right leg and left leg. Maybe a bit of windshield wipering in between. And then you make your way onto all fours here. Yeah, the hands are just below the shoulders, hips, and your knees below the hips. And we want to walk the hands forwards from here for our puppy pose. From rising the chest, head down to the earth, trying to keep the hips on top of the knees. You could also rest the elbows on the ground and then bring the hands into prayer at the back. And then bring your hands into prayer behind your head, long spine here. Heart, what a lovely moment. So yeah, hands behind the back, or you straighten out your arms and then your hands into the shoulders. Feel it release. And to relax all your facial muscles, back, And you get out, you look in front towards your hands, walk the hands back underneath the shoulders here. Underneath the shoulders here. And from here we want to step the right foot next to the right hand, yeah, letting the hips sink low into a lizard here. And again, it takes time for the hip to open. Yeah, this is normal. Let the head relax here in extension with the spine, really letting the weight pull to the earth. Nice. Maybe you want to intensify, maybe you open the knee out just a bit wider to the right. Or maybe you stay where you are. Yeah. You can also come out a bit if it gets too intense. Lovely. And then just a bit longer. And then we slowly release by walking the right foot close to the left knee, and we find our pigeon here, yeah? So finding an angle in the right leg that works for you. Maybe you want to support yourself with a cushion underneath the right sit bone or a block. And then if you like, you fold down onto the forearms, yeah? Maybe you rest your head on the ground. Maybe it stays up. And then giving your hip again the time to fully land here. Visually guiding your breath down into the hips and releasing stagnant energy around this area, softening into the posture, letting your hips get heavy on the ground, feeling the groin starts to open, starts to soften. Noticing any interest, perspective, posture, nothing to do with both eyelids and the head and the ground, maybe resting on your hands, your eyes closed, very good to get into and so that you can release thoughts and emotions in this place. So to get out, bring your hands onto the ground here. Press into the left toes, lift the left knee, and then step the right foot back. And we'll just take a quick break here, release in your child's pose. Knees wide apart, big toes are touching, something back towards the ears, nothing around, maybe touching in between the heels and the hip bone. And then forwards again, back onto all fours here, and then stepping the left foot next to the left hand. Let the hips sink low. Let the hips sink low here into your lizard on the other side, and giving your hips the time to soften, get comfortable in this position. Yeah, it takes a bit of time, that's normal. Trying to stay present with the breath. And again, maybe you want to intensify by bringing maybe left hand onto the left knee and rolling the knee a bit more to the side. You're rolling onto the outer blade of the left foot. Or you stay where we were. Let the head relax, neck is relaxed. And to get out, to release, you walk the left foot towards the right knee and find your pigeon here on the other side. First finding length here in the spine, maybe using a block or cushion underneath the left sit bone. Yeah, if you really if you really lean to one side, yeah, use something to support yourself under the left sit bone. And then folding over the left leg, coming down. Maybe you make a cushion for your neck. Stand here. Bringing the curve in, guiding the focus into your present with yourself, the physical body. What is your body telling you in this place? Is this place feel different to the site you did before? Feel the same. Being compassionate to your hips here. Guiding the breath down, inviting softness. And when you're ready, slowly coming up again, pressing into the right toes, lifting the right knee, and then step it back again into a child's pose here. And then rolling forwards onto the belly. Get really comfortable on the belly. One final pose, your swings pose, yeah? So bringing the hands, underarms parallel to each other, opening the chest, broadening across the collarbones here, looking forwards, or letting the head relax down, you choose. And pressing the pubic bone flats of the feet into the ground here. How does your lower back feel? Staying here for another breath. And then you slowly bring your elbows down. If you open your seal, relax the head to one side. And maybe you want to do a Shavasana on the belly today. You choose.